Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are all keeping safe and healthy and in good spirit. We live in very unprecedented time with pandemic and perhaps India picking up from now in the next couple of weeks. It's a very uncertain time. So first of all, I hope on behalf of everyone from at Droom, we are wishing you good luck and all safety and please stay healthy. Uh, E-commerce day at Droom is something very close to our heart. This is an annual event. Typically, this event is designed to be handled in a way that during the when a lot of throughout the India, lot of students who are either pursuing their engineering track or a undergraduate or masters or an MBA, they happen to spend a lot of them come from all over India to New Delhi or NCR to spend their summer internship. We came with this concept when I used to run Shop Clues way back in 2012, where we thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to create a platform where all the people who may be working in an internship with a paint company or a bank or an insurance company or a FMCG, healthcare, advertising, manufacturing, or e-commerce or internet to learn a little bit from us in terms of five things. One is what is e-commerce? How does it work? Why e-commerce? Second is startup company. Third is a digital economy. Fourth is uh, fourth is entrepreneurship, and fifth is a little bit more about Droom or in the past Shop Clues. So that's how, guys, this came into being. Everyone at Droom works very hard to make it possible. Last year, this event happened around 2 weeks before, like I think towards the beginning of June, and I remember having more than 550 people. Our campus was buzzing with students, entrepreneurs, internet people who are just digital economy enthusiasts. Our campus was buzzing. There were 200 Droomers also who were interacting, welcoming all of you. There were a lot of fun activities. There are a lot of thought-provoking ideas, a lot of networking. A lot of people did apply to Droom also for a job. Plus, as Shashank mentioned, some winners, some fun activities, and I think maybe a beer and dance party until 2 in the night. Unfortunately, because of the times, we cannot do that. So we are doing it virtually. But the good news is virtual event allows us to have a countrywide or unlimited reach. And as Shashank mentioned, anyone who RSVP'd, they got access to a webinar, which gives you a special access to even ask question by typing into the Zoom chat feature or Q&A feature, or you can simply raise the hand and we can unblock you to ask a question, basically unmute you so that you can ask the question. But this is also parallelly live telecasted on Facebook and YouTube with a much wider reach. At Facebook also, you can ask the question which will reach out to us throughout this next close to 1 hour and 15 minutes. uh, First, I'd like to speak with you about my journey as an entrepreneur, share with you about digital economy, e-commerce, startup, and entrepreneurship. And then you will hear from Akshay, who heads our strategy team. And then we have a leadership panel which talks about their profession. What does it take to be rock star in that profession? We also have other people from Droom team whom we hired from various campuses. Either they joined us as an intern or as a full time, but in the recent past years, and they can share with you their experiences and challenges and learning at Droom. Guys, I will encourage each one of you to please feel free to ask questions, send questions. There's a Q&A and you can raise hands if you if you got a webinar link. While this event is going on, feel free to share the links with any friends, family, and colleagues. So with that, allow me to go through a couple of things. So guys, first of all, in terms of my background, uh, I grew up. I was born and raised in Chandigarh. In my early 20s, I went to United States to do my MBA. That time, this was pre Y2K. This was year 1999. And a lot of people will, India did not offer the current opportunities which India offer. Forget about digital economy or internet or e-commerce or startup. That time, India did not offer too many career options. It was a limited opening economy which was starting to open. So I went to United States, did my MBA, and after that I worked with Charles Schwab, which is the world's largest online stock brokering firm in San Francisco. And I was very fortunate to be personally get hired by Chuck Schwab, whose name is after the company is, and he was among the 50 richest people on earth, and created Charles Schwab, the largest stock brokering company on the face of the planet. I worked there in various roles, from implementing value at risk. Some of you who are attending may be doing masters or finance or MBA will know value at risk is a concept for market risk. Then I implemented activity-based costing, which is basically unit economics for anything which the company does based on the activities and cost involved. And then I ran strategy planning small group for Schwab.com, the technology group. After that, I ended up joining Microsoft in their corporate headquarters in Redmond, Washington. And I had an opportunity to work very closely with Bill Gates and Steve Ballmer, who was a CEO at that time, and got a lot of very high quality exposure. Then in early 2005, I ended up joining Wall Street as an internet analyst, and I became an equity research analyst, and I covered companies like Google, Yahoo, Amazon, Microsoft, Expedia, Priceline, Netflix, Make My Trip, and many more internet companies which were publicly traded. At different point of time, I also covered Chinese internet stocks such as Sina, Sohu, Baidu, Focus Media, and many other companies which are all traded on New York or NASDAQ. And then in 2010, shortly after Make My Trip went public, I was working on a very large internet stocks, and I realized that there's something is happening in India. How come an online travel company out of India is trying to list on NASDAQ? So I decided to launch the research coverage for Make My Trip, flew to India, met founder of Make My Trip, and met that time there were only 7 or 8 internet companies. I met pretty much every company's founder, met a couple of venture capitalists, and wrote a research report titled "Has India Internet Arrived?" And there basically I ran a hypothesis that while internet and e-commerce is 17-year-old, for all practical purpose, it was like year 1, but looks like now it is ready for prime time. And from here on, India will start seeing those things happening, which started happening in United States in 1994 and in China in 2002 and 2003. So my thesis was that in 2010, India was roughly 15 years behind USA and roughly 8 years behind China in terms of adoption of digital economy, e-commerce, and internet. And from here on, it will balloon up. With that thing, I also realized that why I'm just sitting in Silicon Valley as a research analyst, it was a very rewarding career. I used to make $1 million per year, used to be on TV 7 to 10 times on Fox, CNBC, ABC News, and you name it, any other channel. Was among the top 3 best internet analysts ranked by Bloomberg Financial Times. But then I realized that how many times human beings get an opportunity to create a company which can be a market leader before you die. And I saw that opportunity very clearly in India. In my case, because I was Indian, grew up in India, India is my motherland. So I just got lucky, because I'll be honest with you, if I had seen same opportunity in Uganda or Siberia, I would have probably gone there. But because opportunity existed in India, I just got very lucky. So I did not spend majority of my adult life in India. So for a lot of practical purpose, India was like a foreign country for me. I came to India and started ShopClues. That time, India had 80 million internet users. There were probably 35 very small, tiny e-commerce companies. There was definitely Flipkart. There was definitely Infibeam, and a couple of other companies like Fashion and You, My Dala, and Urban, like a couple of more companies, Urban Touch, etc. The entire market cap of India's internet sector was probably $2 billion, which was primarily the market cap of Naukri.com, Make My Trip, and couple of private internet companies. There was no unicorn, right? And I firmly believe that the Walmart of India will be not Walmart Corporation, but an online company. That online company will be an e-commerce company. Sorry, that online company will be a marketplace, not a physical company. Then why not I create that company? With that vision, I started India, moved to India, started ShopClues. And guys, today, as you know, India is home to 25 unicorn. India's e-commerce is, and I'm not talking about online travel. India's e-commerce alone is a 25 to $30 billion industry. 8 of the last 10 billionaires India has produced all come from digital economy and e-commerce. And this industry has probably created a $1 million, sorry, not dollar, 1 million new jobs, all in last 1 decade. But if you compare this with the United States, from 1994 until now, 26 years, United States has created around 10 to 12 million, 10 to 12 million new jobs, $6 trillion in new wealth, all from first generation entrepreneurs, and millions of people have grown their career to unprecedented level or made a lot of money from stock options or as an early employee or even late employee of a company which ballooned up to become a market leader. China, most of the internet action started in China 6-7 years later than USA, right? China has already created around $1.5 trillion in new wealth from internet and digital economy. This is all created by the first generation entrepreneurs. And United States is a home of around 350 unicorn. China is a home of around 185 unicorn. And India is a home for 25 unicorn, right? But guys, let me say this way. If you look at the last 300-400 years of modern history, what is happening in India in a digital economy, in my view, is among the 6 or 7 largest man-made modern history, wealth creation and social transformation opportunity. Number 1 was Industrial Revolution in 1750, where the use of mechanical engineering, mass production, fixed price, Western style marketing, and global distribution came into existence. And it caused a massive tilt in the wealth. Before Industrial Revolution, India and China accounted for 70% of global GDP, and most of the wealth shifted towards Europe. So that was among the largest wealth creation opportunity in the modern history. Second one was finding of gold in California and the rise of United States for the next 150 years. Third was the rise of Japan after the World War II. Fourth was the rise of China in the last 40 years. And fifth one is continuation rise of USA with automobile, with hardware, with semiconductor, with software, with internet, with alternative energy, with biotechnology. These are the 6, I would say, largest man-made, biggest opportunity for wealth creation and social transformation. But you know what is the 7th one? The 7th one is the potential digital economy offers for all of us. As I mentioned, when I landed in this country in 2011 to start Shop Clues, there were 35 internet companies, except 2 or 3. Very few people had heard their names. The entire market capitalization of India was 2 billion. Probably total 10,000 people worked in e-commerce, internet or digital economy. India had 80 million internet users. Out of them, 35 million use smartphone. Today, India has 500 million internet users. The entire market cap of the digital economy, e-commerce and internet is around 125 billion. India has at least the top 5 companies alone account for now 50 billion private market capitalization. Around 1.5 to 2 million people work in digital economy throughout the India. Out of the 500 plus million people who are on internet, almost 100% have smartphone. And time spent and per capita money spent online is among the best in the country, best in the world. India has the second largest internet population now in the world. After China, India exceeded in terms of internet activities versus USA roughly 1.5 years back. And the commerce activities are now 25-30 billion. It is 2% of retail. When I came to India in 2011, it was 0.1% of retail. It has already gone to 2.5 or 3%. My colleague Akshay will likely share some of those data. So guys, this is a golden opportunity. This is a 7th largest modern history social transformation and wealth creation opportunity. Now, let me say 2-3 things for you. Number one, for startup company, you really, why do you consider startup company? Startup company gives you 4-5 things which no other environment can give you. Number one, your each month learning can be equal to a 1 year or 2 year learning in a large, fully established, highly stable company. Number two, you can experience new challenges sometime every month, sometime every week, sometime every day. Third, you can have a growth which can be parallel to y-axis. We have people in Droom who have experienced 6 to 10 promotions, probably 10 times increase in their compensation, but most importantly, the evolution of their personality and impact, which is second to none. Next, you can get extremely high satisfaction, making an impact from your career. Whatever you are working on, you can see it tangibly getting built, getting adopted, scaling up. This satisfaction you will not find anywhere else. The ability to make impact is no longer inseparable from you. Finally, there's an opportunity to create wealth. In last 30 years, a lot of wealth has been created by early employees of Infosys, TCS, Wipro, Convergys, Cognizant, Flipkart, or Paytm, or Oyo, and Baiju, and so on. I have also done very well on Wall Street as a top-ranked analyst, but God was very fortunate that I came to India with a one-way ticket after 15 years and ended up creating 2 very, very large companies. So guys, a startup company, whether you want to start a company, want to join a team, want to consider your career after you graduate, these are the reasons why you want to join. Allow me to share 2-3 things, and I know I have taken more time than allocated to me, but I'll just very quickly go through 1 or 2 more things. One, the startup or entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It's not for faint of heart. So you should do this if you have an undying desire that the regret of not doing this will be bigger than anything you give up. So joining a startup, doing something on your own, leaving your job and start joining a startup company. Startup companies can drive you crazy because things will be unstructured. Things will be ambiguous. People will be very passionate. If the company is founder run company, the things will not be sugar coated. It will not be multinational environment where everything is presented to you in a very, very sugar coated environment. Sometime you will achieve new highs, sometime new lows, and sometime new high, new low in a matter of 2 minutes. So people who can deal with ambiguity, people who blossom in challenges, people who want to push their limit, people who feel that the regret of not being part of startup or not doing startup or joining startup will be bigger than anything I give up. Trust me, in a matter of 2-3 years, they are different breed. They are different than any of their peer group. And they will realize that while some of their achievements, which are shallow level, tangible in terms of money or ESOP or title, may not look very differently than their other peer group, but in long run, they will realize that they are very, very different. So guys, I would definitely suggest that this is something you want to take a look seriously, because we don't realize, but digital revolution in India, e-commerce revolution in India, startup culture in India is among the 7 largest man-made modern history, wealth creation, social transformation opportunity of the last 300 years. One or two things more I would like to mention. There are 3 things common among the people who ended up creating a large company or joining a company and making a significant impact. In my view, the startup company founder, CEO, or any other team member does not matter. In my view, they all are entrepreneurs. It just I happen to start a company, but I can tell you, I work at Droom with hundreds of entrepreneurs. You know what is the 3 things common? They all, including me, or for that matter, anyone else, we all come from a typical middle class family background. None of us were born with a silver spoon in our mouth. Number 2, in our family environment, education was placed as emphasis, whether we completed education or not, but education was achieved. Education did receive highest emphasis. Third, we decided to be part of this revolution rather than just sitting on the sideline or watching it as a spectator. So, guys, I know this 3 things is pretty much me, or Shashank, or my colleague Chaitanya, or Komal, or Bhavita, or Akshay, or anyone else in Droom. And for that matter, I bet you 95% of the people who are listening to me. So, guys, this is your opportunity to be the part of the biggest man-made social transformation, wealth creation opportunity. You know how it is social transformation? Norway, sunsets happen 3:30 in afternoon. 9 months, you can barely see a bright day. Very, very clement, unfavorable weather. A 14-year-old boy, power of digital economy, from the age of 7, practiced so much in chess that by the time he was 14, he became the world champion in chess and even took away the title from no other than Anand Vishwanathan. So guys, the social transformation is here, not only just the wealth creation. And last thing I would say, you know, in early 90s, in the early 20th century, most of the wealth was created by modern retail or real estate. In 1960s to 1999, from 1960 to 1990, richest people on earth primarily came from real estate or financial industry. From 1990 until 2020, Most of the people who are creating exceptionally high wealth all come from digital economy. You know, the richest person in Japan is a founder of SoftBank, made his money from digital economy. The richest person in China, Jack Ma, is a founder of Alibaba e-commerce company. The richest person in USA, also the richest person on earth, is Jeff Bezos, made his money from digital economy, Amazon e-commerce company. So that is on a wealth creation. And last thing I would say, again, with the point which I already made, in 1850, there was a gold available in California, a place called Sacramento and Placerville. Wherever you dig, you will find gold. 150,000 people across the earth moved to Placerville in Sacramento. And out of them, 7% of the 150,000 people found gold. Whoever found gold, you know, one thing common. What was the one thing common among them? They were in Sacramento and Placerville. So if you want to look for gold and if you want to make social transformation, welcome to digital economy. This is the goal. This is a social transformation opportunity, and you can make impact socially and monetarily and intellectually, but you got to be the part of this. You can be a part of this by joining a startup company or a company with a startup culture. You can be a part of this by starting a company or being a part of a company.